Welcome back to the Instagram for Bosses podcast. If you're new here, hi, I'm Andrea, and my mission is to simplify Instagram marketing so you can stand out as the go-to leader in your niche and consistently attract ready-to-invest clients without having to live on your phone or post every single day. Today's episode is a practical one that you're going to love. By the end, you're going to have zero excuses left for not filming your reels because I'm walking you through exactly how to batch a month's worth of reels in an hour. Plus, I'm sharing our free reels planner that you can download and use for your very next shoot. And I've got a bonus equipment tip at the end of the episode that covers exactly what you'll need to make all of this happen. So make sure you stay right until the end. Before we get into it, I want to take a moment to remind you to go and follow me over on Instagram at Andrea Marie Creative if you haven't already. It's where I'm most active and you'll find even more practical tips and strategies for growing your business using Instagram. Now let's get back to the show. I want to start this episode with one of my clients, Courtney, because she is the best example I have of what this looks like in practice. Once every about 4 to 6 weeks, I show up to shoot with Courtney. We film for about an hour. She's relaxed, she's ready, and honestly, she is an absolute pro now. A world of difference from where we first started, where she was really nervous and worried about fumbling her words. We have a great time on shoot day now, and we don't take ourselves too seriously, and that is the exact energy that produces the best and most natural content. When the shoot wraps, Courtney's job is done. We take the footage, we edit everything, we write the captions, schedule and post everything on her behalf, and she walks away from 1 hour with around 4 to 6 and sometimes even more reels done and scheduled for her. That's what's possible for you and what a system looks like in practice. Now, not everyone has a team behind them, and that's why this episode is for the business owner who's doing it themselves. So I want to walk you through the same 3-stage process that we take, because the reason that batching feels overwhelming for most people is because they're trying to do all 3 stages at once on the same day and usually with their phone already in their hand. That's where it falls apart. Stage 1 is the planning stage. And this is the most important stage of the entire process. It's also the one that makes the actual filming fast. Here's what planning looks like before I shoot with any client. I pull up Instagram Insights and look at what's been performing well over the last 30 to 60 days. And I look at this through a strategic lens, not just which posts get the most likes, because that metric isn't really one that matters. I look at performance based on what the reel was actually trying to do. If it was a Captivate reel designed to reach new people, I look at reach, views, shares, and new follows. If it was a Connect reel designed to build trust with a warm audience, I look at things like comments and saves. If it was a Convert reel designed to drive inquiries, I look at things like profile visits, link clicks, and DMs. What worked in each category tells me what to do more of. Then I look at the current goals of the business. Are we focused on growing their audience right now, building trust, or driving inquiries? The answer to that question determines the 3C breakdown of the batch. How many Captivate reels, how many Connect, and how many Convert do we need? If you haven't listened to last week's episode on the 11 reel types for service-based businesses, go back and give that one a listen because it'll make this stage a lot clearer. I'll leave it linked in the show notes. From there, I research what's currently trending on Reels. I look at what's gaining traction and ask, is there a version of this that genuinely makes sense for this business and its audience? Trending formats with your own original spin can do a lot for reach, but if you're just recreating a trend because it's popular and can't relate it back to your business in a meaningful way, you're just wasting time and potentially attracting the wrong audience. Then I map everything out in a spreadsheet. Every reel we're going to shoot gets its own row. The hook, the script, the B-roll needed, the shot list, the audio, everything is decided before shoot day. This is the part that saves the most time. When the time comes to film, you know exactly what you're creating and in what order, so you're not having to make these decisions while the camera is rolling. You're just focused on executing. If you're doing this yourself, send the plan to anyone else who might be involved, even if that's just a partner that's holding the camera, so there's no surprises on the day. Now, I've actually built out that planning spreadsheet as a free resource you can download and use for your own shoots. Our Reels Planner has everything you could need: a space for your ideas, hooks, audio, 3C classification, shot list, script, caption, publish date, and a status tracker all in one place. I'll leave the link to that in the show notes so you can grab it after the episode. Stage 2 is shoot day. And if you've done the planning stage properly, this stage is the easy part. Work through your shot list in order. Don't improvise. Don't decide on the day to scrap something and try something completely different. The plan exists so you don't have to think, you just film. I want to talk about perfectionism here for a second because this is where a lot of people stall and get caught in the weeds. There's a version of shoot day that goes beautifully first take. There's also a version where you do 15 takes before you get it right. Now, I want you to understand that if you fall into the latter category, it's completely normal and quite frankly expected. I still do 10 takes myself more often than not. The goal isn't to get it perfect on the first try. The goal is to get it done, to keep going, not give up, and remember that nobody relates to perfect. Your audience isn't looking for a polished production. They're looking for you, which means the most authentic version of this is always going to be better than the most technically perfect one. Now, moving on to stage 3, everything after the shoot. And if you're batching solo, this is where you set yourself up for a genuinely hands-free month. Edit all of your reels in one sitting if you can while the footage is still fresh. Write captions that match the 3C classification of each reel. A captivate reel needs a hook that stops a stranger mid-scroll. A convert reel means that it needs a clear next step so that the person watching knows exactly how they can work with you. Then schedule everything in advance. Once it's scheduled, it's done and you don't have to think about it again until next month. That's the system. Plan, shoot, schedule. 3 stages, kept separate, done in order. Now, before I get to the bonus, I promised you, if you've been listening to this and thinking, I love this process, but I just genuinely don't have the time to do it all myself. That's exactly what we do for our clients in our Done With You Reels shoot. We handle the planning, we show up, and we shoot with you. We edit, caption, and post everything on your behalf. So the only thing you need to do is show up on the day and we take care of the rest. We have a limited number of spots available for shoots in July and August, and it's open to Illawarra-based service businesses. So if this sounds like something that you need, DM me the word Reels over on Instagram and we'll have a quick chat to see if we're a good fit. And don't forget to grab my Reels planner from the show notes. It's the exact planning tool I use with every client before shoot day, and it's yours to keep and use for every batch shoot from here. I'll leave everything linked down in the show notes. Now, the bonus I promised, the equipment, because I know just film it on your phone doesn't always feel like enough of an answer. Here's what you actually need to make your reels look and sound good without spending a fortune. A phone tripod. This is essential and you can grab one from Kmart or Amazon for next to nothing. A ring light. Not strictly necessary, but good lighting does make a significant difference. If you don't have one, it's not the end of the world. The rule is simple. Position your light source in front of you, not behind you. A window right in front of you is perfect. Anything behind you is going to cause you to be backlit, and that is the fastest way to make your footage look like it was filmed in a cave. So avoid backlighting at all costs. And if you're filming talking to camera reels, a USB microphone will make your audio sound noticeably more professional. I use the DJI Mic Mini, which you can find online. I just got mine from JB Hi-Fi, and it's definitely worth the investment if you're planning to batch regularly. I'll leave that one linked in the show notes, but you don't have to get that one. There's lots of USB mics available on the market, so just pick one that suits your budget. That's it. Tripod, decent lighting, and a mic if you're on camera. Everything else is completely optional. If this episode was helpful, take a screenshot, share it to your Instagram stories, and tag me at Andrea Marie Creative. I love chatting with you over on Instagram, and make sure you're following the show so you don't miss the next episode. If you've got a couple of minutes, a rating and review really helps more business owners to find the podcast, and I really appreciate it so much. I'll be taking a short break from the show for a couple of weeks as I plan out season 9, which is going to include some really exciting guests. So stay tuned for that. I hope you have the most amazing week ahead, and I'll catch you in the next one.